parts, I will not be infected. The only problem will come if I touch where the sick person smeared me with something, then I touch my eyes or my mouth or my nose, the soft parts of the body. That's when the virus will now enter me. So therefore, we who are used to fighting wars, when we had these characteristics of the enemy, the Ebola, we decided that this time we shall fight differently. It's not necessary to have lockdowns, to close schools, to stop you from going to churches, to the markets, traveling. Now, there's also another characteristic which shapes our strategy. Because number one, I've told you, it doesn't go by air. It doesn't go through breathing. Number two, so it only infects by contact. But number two, even with contact, it cannot go through every part of the body. It goes only through a few areas of the body. The eyes, the mouth, the nose, the soft parts. Otherwise, here on the skin, it can stay there. And if I don't transfer it by touching and touching myself, it will stay there until it will not infect me. But there is another weakness on the side of the virus, number three, which shapes our strategy. This is that although it stays in the body for a number of days, I think it stays in the body for 21 days or something, somebody said, it can be there, but not showing itself. But apparently, before the virus starts showing signs, it's not infective. It only becomes infective once you start showing signs like temperature, vomiting, and all that. Oh, it is now those three things that shape our strategy. If it is not going through the air, if even when it gets on your skin, it doesn't infect you unless it goes through the soft parts of the body. If it doesn't infect until you start showing signs, and one of the signs is temperature, then it is easy to fight this enemy. That's why, therefore, we decided that we shall not have lockdowns. It's not necessary to have lockdowns. We just need to take care of a few things. So that's why, therefore, let me read what the ministry has prepared here, and then I would add on. I am here to talk to you about another disease outbreak in the country. While we are still battling COVID-19, the Minister of Health has informed me that we have cases of Ebola in the districts of Museveni, Chejegwa, and Kasanda. The initial case was a 24-year-old male from Ngabano village, Madudu sub-county, Madudu sub-county, Museveni district. This person was seen on the 15th of September, 2022, at Museveni Regional Referral Hospital. He was found to have signs and symptoms that included fever, diarrhea, vomiting, chest pain, pain in swallowing, and dry cough. He was isolated and given supportive treatment while investigations were going on. On the 17th September 2022, he developed yellowing and bleeding from the eyes. He also informed the healthcare workers that some people had died from his village with similar symptoms. This prompted the healthcare workers to take off blood for analysis for viral hemorrhagic fever, specifically Ebola, and dispatch a team to his village to verify the information. Unfortunately, we lost this man on the 19th of September 2022, the day that his sample was confirmed positive for Ebola. As of yesterday, 27th September 2022, there were 24 confirmed cases of Ebola virus and 5 deaths from the districts of Museveni, Chejegwa, and Kasanda. And these were so 5 people are the ones who have died. You have been seeing in the press wonderful monitor newspaper, the one which works for the enemy. They have been proclaiming, I don't know how many have died, I don't know how many, but the people who have died here are 5. Now the 24 confirmed cases. I don't know whether the 24 included the 5 who died or they included the 5. So 24 people confirmed, 5 of them dead. That means infected but not dead, 19. I'm sitting here with all the powerful people of the ministry. There's Dr. Jenna Cheng, there's Dr. Diana Twine, there's Dr. Mwevesa. From here you go to heaven. There's another place. When you go from this, There's no other address. If you want health matters, there's no other place. Then I also have the Prime Minister here. I have Nankavirwa to support my Luganda, and I have my young sister, Joyce Sebugwao, and some other powerful persons whom I don't have to disturb you with. So the people, the cases, and these people I saw on the Addresse, quoting wrong figures from Monitor. So the case is 24 confirmed, 5 dead. 6 health workers, 4 doctors, 1 anesthetist, and 1 medical student exposed to the index case. What is index case? The first one. Between 15th and 18th, have tested positive to Ebola and are being managed at Mbende and Fort Portal referral hospitals. They are being treated. That's what, you know, when I read the document of the Minister of Health, I must keep localizing their word. Management as if they are managing a bank. For us in our language, we say they are being treated. They are being treated. The table below shows a breakdown of confirmed cases and death by district and sub-county. I have them here. Mubende, Madudu sub-county, confirmed cases 11, dead 5. Mbende municipality cases 5, dead nobody. Kasambia 1, 0 death. Chiviringa 1, nobody died. Chitenga 1, nobody died. Then in Chejegwa, Kasule sub-county, 3 cases, nobody died. Kasanda sub-county, 2 cases, nobody died. So 24 people infected, 5 are the ones who are dead. In addition to the Ebola 5 confirmed deaths, there are 19 individuals who died in the community after showing similar signs. Since they died at home, we do not have opportunity to test them. I'm told that the current transmission in Maduro sub-county in Mbende district and in other districts appears to be driven by exposure at barriers and family interactions following the death of people suspected to have succumbed to Ebola. This is the first time in more than a decade that Uganda is reporting an outbreak of Sudan Ebola virus that last occurred in Nyimbwa sub-county, Ruwero district in 2012. The last Ebola outbreak in the country, which was in Kasese district, was of the Zaire strain and was imported from Congo in 2019. This outbreak was controlled without any community spread. Actually, this disease may not spread so much because the brief I read was that these first cases in Madudu were first reported on the 6th of August, 6th or something like that, or 5th, 6th. So this is more than a month ago, almost 2 months. And these people just kept quiet at home until this fellow who came to the hospital. So you can see it's not really that, it confirms, because this is 2 months. If it was our other problem, Corona, I think we would be having bigger numbers. But this, the first case, no, is it the one who died? The first who died in the village, whom they kept quiet about. Jen, you explain that.
Those are the 19 whom we didn't test, who had signs and symptoms in the village, but we didn't confirm.
So those are the ones of the 6th?
Yes, from the 6th.
What is Ebola? Ebola is an acute disease caused by a virus and is deadly if left untreated, or if treatment is delayed. It is transmitted through contacts as follows: person-to-person transmission through contact with body fluids from an infected person, such as blood, saliva, sweat, urine, feces, sexual fluids, etc. Contact with objects that have been contaminated with body fluids like blood, feces, vomit from an Ebola-infected person, or a person who died from Ebola. Contact with secretions of infected animals such as fruit bats, chimpanzees, gorillas, monkeys. Eating meat from wild animals found dead or sick, especially monkeys, chimpanzees, gorillas. Those cultures of eating those same humans, because gorillas are like human beings. So why some people eat their relatives, I can't understand. I've got cows, some of our people have got goats. So people, muveko bazita batya? Bazita batya mu Uganda?
Amazike.
Amazike, those are gorillas. Naye buno
Enkima.
Enkima, muve ku nkima bannange. Enkima si za kulya. Symptoms of Ebola. A suspected case of Ebola may present with any or some or all of the following symptoms: sudden onset of fever, fatigue, chest pain, pain on swallowing, diarrhea, vomiting, unexplained bleeding from any body opening, e.g. ears, nose, mouth, eyes, anus, bleeding from body openings, mouth, nose, eyes, also bleeding under the skin, which is usually a late symptom. This bleeding comes much later. So please don't wait for the bleeding. Start with the temperatures. I think those are the other signs. Temperatures and pain in swallowing. Ebola can be prevented by doing the following. Wash your hands with soap and water, or use alcohol-based sanitizer. Bikore ebyo, those work. Avoid contact with body fluids from any person or animal suspected of being infected with Ebola. Clean all potentially contaminated surfaces with chlorine solution. All people suspected or confirmed to have died of Ebola should be accorded supervised, safe, and dignified burial. Report all cases with signs and symptoms to the nearest health facility. History of Ebola outbreaks in Uganda. Several Ebola outbreaks have been reported in Uganda since its discovery in 1976. 2000 Gulu, Masindi and Mbarara, 2007 Bundubujo, 2011 Ruwero, 2012 Chibale, 2015 Kasese. Prior to the West African Ebola outbreak, 2014-2016, the Gulu outbreak in the year 2000 was known to be the biggest and most complex Ebola outbreak in the world, with 425 confirmed cases and 224 deaths, including 31 health workers. However, it now ranks number 3 after the West African problem and the DRC 2018-2019 outbreaks. The Sudan Ebola virus is one of the 6 known strains of Ebola. Of these 6, only 4 are known to cause disease in humans: Zaire, Sudan, Bundubujo, and Cote d'Ivoire, Ivory Coast. The first known outbreak of Sudan Ebola virus was reported in 1976 in Nzara, in the then Sudan, now South Sudan, infecting 284 people and killing 151. Since then, there have been 6 outbreaks of the Sudan Ebola virus, with 2 occurring in Sudan, 1979 and 2004, and 4 in Uganda, 2000 Gulu, 2011 Luero, 2012 Chibale, and now 2022. Ebola can be treated. Interventions can be fought. A rapid response team was immediately deployed in the Greater Mbende region to carry out an immediate assessment and support the response. Based on information from this team, the Ministry of Health has classified the country into 3 risk zones. Category 1, very high risk, Mubende, Chejegu, and Kasanda districts. Category 2, high risk, not very high risk, but high risk. The districts bordering Category 1 districts, namely Kakumiro, Chenkwanzi, Kiboga, Mtiana, Chibale, Kazo, Gomba, Zimbabwe, and Chenjujo districts. Kampala and Wakiso are also included in the category because of ease of movement and trade. Category 3, the rest of the country. I'm informed by experts that previously handled Ebola outbreaks in Gulu, Bundubujo, Chibale, and Ruwero have been deployed to Mubende, Kasanda, and Chejegu district to manage patients and control the spread of the outbreak. The Ebola treatment unit at Mbende Regional Referral Hospital is currently at 51 bed capacity for confirmed cases and 8 beds for suspect cases. Since most of the Ebola cases are coming from Madudu sub-county, which is the epicenter, government has decided to set up an additional Ebola treatment unit of 30 beds at Madudu Health Center 3. This is to avoid the 30-kilometer distance of transferring patients to Mbende Regional Referral Hospital and to improve early patient care and management. To facilitate this, government will immediately connect Madudu sub-county to the national electricity grid to provide power to the sub-county and the health center. Furthermore, a solar-powered borehole will be sunk at Madudu Health Center 3 to provide running water. Currently, samples are being tested at the Uganda Virus Research Institute Entebbe with a turnaround time of results of 24 hours. This is not good for the response because time is lost during the transportation of samples. The Minister of Health has informed me that by Friday, 30th September 2022, 2 mobile diagnostic laboratories will be deployed at Mbende district. This will shorten the turnaround time of sample processing and improve timely patient care. Vaccination against Ebola, Sudan Ebola virus. I'm told that there is no approved vaccine for the Sudan Ebola disease. However, there are several vaccines for the Ebola Sudan undergoing trials. The government is exploring all options to get a safe and effective vaccine as quickly as possible. I will update the nation as soon as this becomes available. There is a vaccine for Ebola Zaire, and we have already given it to our soldiers who are operating in Congo. Therefore, one of the issues we were debating the other day was why not use the vaccine of Ebola Zaire, even though it's not specific for Ebola Sudan, but it is Ebola. So some of they share some of the characteristics, and we are discussing that. Why not? And it is safe. We have found that it is safe because people are already using it, and we have used it on our soldiers. So, is there any harm in trying it? We are discussing that. And also these ones which are being experimented for Ebola Sudan. So even if it is being experimented, it can be used. I want to reassure Ugandans and all residents that the government has got capacity to control this outbreak, as we have done before. Therefore, there is no need for anxiety, panic, restriction of movement, or unnecessary closure of public places like schools, markets, places of worship, etc. as of now. That one I have already told you that this disease doesn't need those big measures of closing and restricting movement. Our healthcare workers will do all it takes to save lives and bring the situation under control. I call upon the public to cooperate with the healthcare workers and report anybody with signs and symptoms similar to that, to those of Ebola. So you have heard that really this virus we can fight it more easily than corona, because number one, it does not go through the air, through breathing. The breathing one is a problem. You know this for Senyiga, for this common cold. You sit in the car, even you sit in a room like this, somebody will give you Senyiga, common cold. But this one is not in that group. It's a little bit like AIDS. You remember when AIDS came, people were running around, tourists were not coming. Tourists were not coming. I said, but why are tourists not coming? Oh, there is AIDS. AIDS is found in only certain addresses. You don't go there, you don't get it. So how can that be a problem? I told the tourists, if you come here for tourist activities, there is no way you will get AIDS, unless you include non-tourist diversions. But actually, this disease is even easier, and you see how we manage the AIDS. But this one is even easier than AIDS, because like AIDS, it doesn't go through air. So they are the same. No going through air. Number two, doesn't go through a healthy skin. Again, AIDS goes through certain parts of the body. But the difference which makes this one easier to fight is that somebody can have AIDS virus but doesn't show signs, and therefore becomes a silent infector. This one, apparently, what I've been briefed, which makes it easier to fight, is that you only become infective when the signs have started coming. Oba kyekyo akawuka tukamaze. We can manage this kawuka. This one is not. Because, so therefore, you hear we are talking about vaccine. We even have a vaccine for this one. We have for the Zaire, but this one also we can vaccinate for, either using the Zaire one or this new one which they are developing. But even without vaccination, if we observe hygiene, like for instance, me, when I'm in the public, these days we no longer shake hands. So stop shaking hands. Stop shaking hands. Just, you know, when this Ebola had broken up in West Africa, here, me, you know how I do things. No shaking of hands, no what? Here. I went to attend OAU meeting in Equatorial Guinea. Ooh, people were just hugging. banange ngamfude banange. And Ebola killed people in West Africa because of that carelessness. So, no shaking of hands, just jambo. Kubira ka jambo. Now, because although it is not as aggressive as it is aggressive, but doesn't spread easily. But they say that if I put fluids on the table here, the virus can stay there for 5 days. There, when the table is dry, it's not even wet. 5 days. Okugwera, the Nyankore word for okugwera is ambush. When it is in ambush, it is the virus on a dry surface. If it is a wet surface, it says I don't know how many, much longer. How many? If it is a wet surface, 2 weeks. So therefore, we should have tactics. In 1959, when I joined Mbara High School, well, I had been baptized when I was young, 1947, when my father and my mother came from the other religion, and they joined this one. I accompanied them. I was already born, but I accompanied them and I got baptized. But in 1959, they said, you must be confirmed. By that time I was 14, 15 there. I was going to middle school. Now we had a reverend who was a very clever man. Later on he became a bishop. Bishop Eustace Rihindi. And he taught us that for the communion, you should put your left hand. This is the one you do like this. So that the bishop puts the bread on the left. Because the left doesn't do things. Doesn't touch, doesn't greet, doesn't what. It is cleaner. From that time, my left hand is for myself. My right hand is for the Republic. Even now when we are not greeting, but you can say I'm touching using my right hand. But this one, for private use. So, don't touch the soft parts of your body, the eyes, the nose, the mouth, unless you have washed. The minister here can tell us the washing. Washing, what do we do with washing? Washing how? Or you can ask one of your people, if you, I don't know why you want to handle it. Because the washing, avoid touching your soft parts, don't touch your eyes, don't touch your mouth, don't touch your nose with hands which are not washed. For me, I have my left hand, which is dedicated for myself. This one, I gave it, it's now 60 years, 63 years since I surrendered to the Republic. But of course I need to wash. So how do I clean this Republic hand? How do I clean it to make sure it is? You help us. With what? Because for the corona, we are sure that the alcohol, that even soap, ordinary soap can handle it. But this one here, you help us.
We wash with soap and water because viruses are weak and easily denatured by soap. We also use the alcohol sanitizers that we have been using for COVID. They also denature the virus very quickly, except for surfaces, because the surfaces are wide like tables, beds, floors. That's where we use the chlorine solutions to wash the areas.
No, if we just, you are not going to get into offices and you start chlorinating their desks. Me, a Mwananchi, when I come to the office and I touch this, I can't force people to chlorinate.
We use soap and water.
Huh?
We use soap and water.
Because I want to, we the Mwananchi want to do things which are under our control. I may not clean offices and the desks or door handles. That is for the office people to do. But me, as a Mwananchi, the way I can be safe is to wash with soap and water, and also to use these sanitizers, the ones we have been using against corona. Are you all agreed with the doctors?
Yes.
Huh?
Yes.
Very good. So, therefore, please, this enemy we can fight. Number one, doesn't go through the air. So therefore, church, taxi, nightclub, I don't know nightclub where you?
Yes.
All those, there is no danger. But the danger, secondly, the virus doesn't go through the hard part of the skin. It only goes through the soft parts. And the soft parts are what? The mouth, the nose, the eyes. And then the private parts, if you engage in sex and so on. So, but the virus doesn't die immediately, it stays. The virus stays either on the surface for 5 days, or if it is a soft, a wet place, it can stay even for 14 days. So therefore, the big battle, the big weapon we have is washing your hands. And not touching yourself, touching your soft parts, without washing your hands first. But if the washing of hands kills the virus with soap and with sanitizers, akawuka tukamaze. Now I don't know whether the minister has something to add on to this one.
Excellency, you have explained very well. Maybe to also allay anxiety of our health workers, because some health workers are infected. We want to appreciate the work that they are doing, but also reassure them that they will be taken care of and given the necessary supportive care and treatment so that we ensure that we don't lose them. But also to continue to encourage them that we can control this epidemic and save Ugandans.
Yes, the health workers, but gloves, when they're handling these people, even if it's a normal case, even if you are not suspecting, anything serious, if you use the normal gloves when you are examining, are you not protected against this type of thing?
You are protected.
Yes. Yes. So routine for the health workers, it's not a good idea, even for normal things, to touch a patient with your bare hands. With your bare hands. I'm sure if they always have gloves, this type of, especially for this one, which is contact, not corona, which you go through breathing. But if you add, because you remember for corona we were having face shields and masks. So if you can protect yourself against corona, which is more dangerous, it is much easier to protect against this one, in my opinion. I'm using my experience as a general to how to fight an enemy. Because if I protect my face and my mouth and my hands against corona, because corona is the extreme enemy. Why? Because it goes through breathing. Now, sure, it's much easier to, because even with AIDS, you remember people were examining AIDS patients with gloves, and there will be no problem. We had few of our people infected at the beginning. For instance, I know one of our supporters who was a medical worker. She was a midwife, and she got infected with AIDS because of delivering other women. But since we knew that, I don't think we have any more of those cases. So the health workers, they should be issued with gloves, with the you don't have to put the whole suit to cover your, I don't think here you need to cover the whole body for this one here, this Ebola. I don't know, do you have to? If you are in normal
for the normal routine patient care, no. Only your gloves and an apron are good enough.
And the mask for anti-corona?
Yes. But when you are in the isolation treating the sick Ebola patients,
yes, that's
when you cover wholly and completely.
Yeah, but here you are, yes. Okay, so now on do you have anything to add on Ebola?
Excellency, you have explained everything.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You people, do you have anything to add? Very good. So now I just want to mention Myoga. Today I was having a meeting with Minister Kasoro and the Myoga mobilizers, my mobilizers. They are doing a wonderful job because you remember our strategy to get all our people out of poverty has got 3 layers or levels. Level 1, in fact 4. You first get foreign investors who come with their own money, and they do things. They build factories. They do what we call that FDI, foreign direct investment. Secondly, we have some of our own big people here, investors, our Ugandans. We tell those, you go to UDB. UDB, there is soft money there, where you can get a loan at 12% or less. And then now, we have insisted on PDM, Parish Development Model. And there we are sending money, 100 million per parish in the whole of Uganda. And there, you form circles. By the people who are doing the activities, mainly the farmers. You make your circle, and the government send the money to the circle, not to anybody else. To the circle, which is comprised of farmers themselves. There is a parish development model committee chaired by the LC2, but that one is to monitor and supervise, but not to handle the money, not to decide who gets first and who gets last. No, just to monitor and be sure that the money is not being stolen or being diverted or being put in other things. That's all. So that is the 3rd level. First level, FDI, foreign direct investment. Second level, Abagaga, rich people who can go to the UDB. 3rd level, PDM, the circles. 4th level are the Myoga. The Myoga are at the constituency, and quite a number of them are in non-agricultural activities: tailoring, carpentry, metalwork, mechanics, like that. Now, according to Kasoro, it's now doing very well. About 4-point-something million have joined. They're already involved. They were supposed to give me some facts about how these are performing individually. But they are going to have an exhibition in November, so we shall give you the facts. But I want to encourage you, I want to thank the mobilizers. They have done a good job. they were telling me now that they have got a saving of 76 billion shillings. These are Myoga people, 76 billion. And we have been giving them money. Each circle at the constituency, we have been giving them 30 million. They got it, each circle, and there are 18 of them. So you get one, each constituency getting more than 500 million at the constituency level. So therefore, I want to encourage the Ugandans to know that some of our people are moving, but I would like everybody to move. Go somewhere in the 4 sectors. Bishop Senabulia, one of my elder brothers, the bishop in Mitiana, told me that sector means akabondo. Nti obondo buli buna. Commercial agriculture, industry, services and ICT. Now, for the PDM, we have already sent you some money. I don't know how much has come. We shall get time to talk specifically about that. I'm just now mentioning. The money is being sent to the circles. Bananyini kawefuwe, nanyini mirimo. The farmers who are in the circle. These are the ones we are sending money to their account. But as we were shifting, because you remember this money was being used by NADS to buy seedlings and materials and give them to Operation Wealth Creation, to Kuzigaba, to give them to the people they select. But it worked. It worked quite well. That's how coffee production has gone from 3 million bags to now 8 million bags. So it worked. But complaints were beginning to come. Because our sirikale, our soldiers, were the ones now deciding to give this one, to give the other one. Now, the people started saying, bega bera boka. They are giving to their friends or give them to themselves. And the NADS were the ones procuring, they were the ones buying NADS. Oh, bagula bifu, they buy us bad quality. So that's why we said, okay, now you who want medicine, if you think the nurses are not giving you the medicine properly, here is the medicine, these are the instructions. You give, follow the instructions and handle yourselves directly. That's why we give them the money. You do the things yourselves now. We have given you this money, 100 million per parish. Each year, next year we shall add another 1 million, another 100 million. So in the 4 years of this Sanja, the parish will get 400 million or 400 million. Now, and also save and add on. This is your bank. In Ontobo, this is a nucleus. This is a nucleus. In Tobo Mutanikirao, and save and have more money, which you can use to borrow yourselves. This is your bank. Instead of going to the money lenders, what have you now? You are lend yourselves now. NRM ebalamidde ebalamidde nti bamwananchi babulumuluka NRM ebalamidde million 10 times 5 in Ekisanja, that is 500 million. Ate namwe mwongereze kwezamu. Then you have your own bank. This is what we are telling you. But now, so that one is moving. It's moving. They are sending money. They may not have sent the whole 100 million because they were trying to control inflation, but it will be sent by the end of the financial year. Zona zigenda kugwayo. But now, when we shifted from the method of NADs buying from nursery owners, giving it to Operation Wealth Creation, to Kugaba, when we shifted, some of our people had planted seedlings because they already used that system to make seedlings, then you sell them to NADs, or to there's UCDA, Uganda Coffee Development something, and then UCDA, Operation Wealth Creation would distribute. So when we changed, some of our farmers have their seedlings. They are now crying. Let me give it to the Prime Minister to handle. Or the way we shall see how to help. We are seeing how to help them.
Thanks so much, Your Excellency, for giving me this opportunity. Your Excellency, like you guided in Cabinet, we came up with an implementation strategy to see that our farmers don't lose on time because the rainy season is almost ending. So we agreed that the farmers be identified in Cabinet, the farmers be identified by PDM circles and parish development committees, and be supervised on the supervision of the sub-county extension workers. And we are saying let these farmers be identified by 3rd of October. Now, they should be, those that I identified should be brought to UCDA by 5th of October this year. Then after that, UCDA will start the procurement process through the region officers, and that should be by 12th October this year. Then by 15th, the identified suppliers, those are the nursery operators, should deliver the seedlings to the parishes where they will give to the farmers who were identified. The reason the farmers are being identified first is for us to ascertain the quantities that we need to buy. And thereafter, they will be delivered to the parishes. Then the parishes, of course, will be supervised by the parish development committees, the circles, and the distribution will be at parish level. And then farmers will go and plant. But they are going to give farmers who are ready, who have farms which are ready, who have dug holes, which the holes are supposed to be 2 feet deep and 2 feet wide. Your Excellency, after this, like we agreed in Cabinet, this season, next season, money will go to PDM circles, which circles will buy coffee like we have said themselves. That is the roadmap in brief.
Yes, the money has already gone to the circles. That one will continue. So this one of the seeds which were already in the garnets is an additional program. It does not replace the other one.
Yes.
Kuongereza. It is additional.
Nyongeza.
The money has already gone to the circles and will go until the full amount is finished. So they can also do their own procurement, the circles. This one we are doing in order not to allow for our people who had planted seedlings under the old system of NADS not to lose, and for these seedlings not to go to waste. So that's what the Prime Minister is talking about. That number one, the two committees in the parish, the committee of the circles and the committee of the Muruka, sit together and identify farmers who are ready. The farmers who are ready are the ones who have dug holes. They have the holes. The holes are 2 feet wide, 2 feet deep for coffee. And then once we know the number, then they tell us. They tell UCDA. They tell somebody. UCDA or what?
Your Excellency, we have extension workers at sub-county who will give that information to the district production office. Extension workers.
Extension workers?
Yes, at sub-county level. Then the extension worker will transmit this information to the district production officer, who will sit together with Operation Waste Creation and send that information to UCDA and Ministry of Agriculture. Okay.
So now finally, recently when you are having, when Europeans started fighting among themselves, and then here people because Africa had forgotten what is required. People started crying for food. That Ukraine is fighting, Russia is fighting, no food. But this is Africa, not Russia. Why do you? So you remember when this one came up, I said, but you people, if there is no bread from Ukraine, why don't you eat muhogo? Me, I eat muhogo. I don't eat bread. I don't know when I last ate bread. It must be like 15 years ago. The last time I ate rice was in Addresse, 1979. No, 1978, because me, I left 1978 to fight. I never went back. Siri mchele, siri muyindi. I don't eat bread, I'm not a European. You know me. Ndiwante, nidirante, ndiwawanu. So I told you, I told my heritage. Nabagamba tibananga. Okukabira emigati y'abazungu. Mwandigyesonyiye, nemulya kamuhogo kamwe. N'akalo, numuteekako n'akalo. Ate ebirungi nno, bannange. So they laughed at me. I saw monitor bannange. Katonda jali. They were laughing, oh, Museveni, cassava, muhogo. How can he talk about muhogo? We modern people, we eat bread. Okay. Mugende nze sibalimu, nze sirya muhogo. Sirya nani? Migati. So, now, Ugandans are also quite clever. Some of my children, who are somewhere in the US, when they went to the supermarket, they found muhogo there. Muhogo. In abana bange bajingurira America, where many of some of these people want to be. They think that if you go to, instead of going to heaven, you go to America. Zinjagala genda mugulu. Jensubira. Now, this my children bought from the supermarket in America. Now, what is amazing is that I'm trying to see where the price is. Yeah, but where is it now? Is it printed here? Huh? This one here is 430 grams, which means it is less than half a kilo. Because a kilo is 1,000 grams. This one is 430. But it is $16. Baali baseka. Mujukira waliwo omuntu waffe gwe weta baali baseka. Waliwo omunauganda munaffe bamwita baali baseka. So it means now a kilo is $32. A kilo of this of maize flour. Sinasoma wano kumanya bye bakozesa, what they use it for. Olaba nabo ebyange byonna babitegedde. A gluten-free single ingredient uliriza no bannange. Naye Katonda yenene yakwatagana dda na Katonda. Kubanga tugenda netukola ebintu ffe tuli wano tukola ebyaffe wano naye bye tukola Katonda yabawandako dda eddusu. Now, here you people. A gluten-free single ingredient, single. Tolna kwata kino kwata ja single ingredient, whole food. Bayeta paleo flour, I don't know paleo oba chichecho. Game-changing multi-purpose flour with the taste and texture of wheat. Wheat jemulwanira, jemukayanira. Omuzungu wano agambye bannange, sinza ayogedde wano. Nze byange nabibagamba dda. Kati wano akakasa nti bw'oba olya eringa eyo ngano yamwe gyemulya. Ate terinamu gluten kubanga engano yo, the ngano has got gluten. This baking revolution is sure to please even your pickiest eaters. It is also top 8 allergen free. It's free of allergy. So everyone can enjoy without worry. We hope it changes your life like it has ours. Bano baweereza obujulizi. They are now telling you how to make the bread from this one. Byonna biri wano. They are teaching you how to make the bread. Whisk together the flour and salt. Add oil and warm water and knead. Knead is to knead until dough is nice and smooth. Dough should not be dry or too wet and sticky. Divide into 6. They are training you how to make the mugati, but mugati of cassava. So I thought I should come and share with you these few things, and for the tourist sector, please tell everybody to stop panicking. This is very easy to stop. I think it has already been contained, because when I was reading the spread, you remember the other. Get me the other one of the distribution, where the cases have been reported. So on page 3, you can see they are all just in Niambende. They are all these cases. Madudu, they are all main Mbende, Chejego, which is nearby, 3, Kasanda 3. All these are really together. So it shows you that this panic, I'm very highly sensitive. So if there was a danger, I would be the first to kubasiba mwenna. Temugenda mubara. But this time I am relaxed. And even before we came in, you can see the cases are just around one area. Mubende, a little bit of Mubende, Kasanda, they are the same. You remember they are the same. And Chejego is Navingora is 30 miles from Bende town. This is just same area. So, there you are. If you had a map, you could show, somebody could, if they had a map, they would have shown. So somebody would say, tourists don't move, Mugenda Kufiri's Abandarabiye, you are going to make our people lose things they should enjoy for no good reason. There's no. When there was Corona, I closed the airport. Do you remember? I would have closed the airport. I would be the first to close the airport. But this one is very easy to stop. Thank you. I wish you good luck. Katonda wabere.